Right, hello class. Welcome back. I hope you all had a good day yesterday, and we're going to continue on where we ended off last time. So can someone please tell me, what does this specific thing mean? Great. Am I that boring or something?
Yeah, you are.
We have to do this to learn stuff. Skidum. And who may you be exactly? Hello?
Boo.
The creative process, one of the most fundamental part of being a creator or someone who likes creating stuff. And as someone who loves creating stuff or like being a creative in general, I thought in this video I would kind of explain my creative process as well as giving a few tips and tricks to hopefully help you along if you are a creator or someone who likes creating. But yeah, without further ado, let's begin, shall we? I should probably also say I'm someone who loves mostly composing. That's mostly my creative thing, but I also like sketching. I also like doing etc. etc. But yeah, I won't waste any more time. Let's begin, shall we? For real this time, shall we?
Oh, you play Minecraft.
So one of the first things I like doing is having multiple sources of inspiration, because personally, in my opinion, I don't like relying on one source of inspiration, because the problem with having only one source of inspiration is that you can't always rely on that one source of inspiration. So some of the things I like doing, I like taking photos I do. I'll throw a couple of my recent ones on screen for a little bit. But also, I guess I like focusing more on the feeling than the technical side. Personally, I'm someone who does not like technical stuff, especially as someone who loves doing composing as well as music. I do not like all this nerdy like music theory stuff, because I mean I know theory, but I don't know the I don't really care about it, because personally I like focusing on more emotion than theory based stuff. Some other things I like doing, I normally carry a sketchbook with me, and I normally just sketch thumbnails or just any funny skit ideas. That's kind of how I came up with the idea for the skit this video. I was just kind of mucking around one day at like a place I was at, and then I just kind of sketched it down when I was bored. It's normally a very rough sketch I do. Another thing I like doing, I like kind of taking inspiration from kind of my life. That's kind of why a lot of my compositions are kind of more emotional or a little bit more darker sounding, because I kind of like reflecting on certain parts of life I do. Rather it be happy, rather it be sad, rather it be like depressing, rather it would just be dark, you know. It's just kind of like what I like doing. There are a few other things I follow for my creative process, but either I've not thought of them while I'm recording, or they're just kind of, they're not really that big compared to the other ones that I follow. And also, I don't want this video to be too long, at least compared to my last video that was like 38 minutes long or something. I can't remember the top of my head, but yeah, let's go on to tips and tricks now, shall we?
British tea.
These won't be in any particular order. The first one, it kind of relates to what we were just talking about, but use multiple sources of inspiration. I mean, I've kind of already gone through this, so I won't really explain it again. I won't. Funnily enough, also another one that I mentioned earlier, focus more on the vibe than the technical side. So for like music, I mean, I know I'm talking a lot about music, but music's like the only one I sort of know. Focus more on like the vibe than just like the technical side. But yeah, again, I won't go into too much detail because I kind of explained it a little bit. I hope anyway. I hope I've explained a lot. For like art, or like, you know, game development, or like whatever else, poetry, photography, sketches, don't worry about like being perfect. Another tip is learn how to be a little bit weird while making like stuff. What I mean by this is just do stuff that would be considered like breaking the rules, even though in actuality there's no rules in any form of creativity, in my opinion. But anyway, what this basically means is just embrace imperfections. Like if you accidentally just like miss a key, or your thing's slightly out of key and it sounds really good, keep it. Because of the rise of AI art, it's increasingly getting harder to like notice like what's human in that. But I think one of the best ways to do it is to just leave imperfections, or just leave little imperfections, because I'm not saying leave every imperfection in, but like, let's say if it doesn't like if it adds to it, or if it just like adds a little bit of detail, keep it. This can be for like absolutely anything. But yeah, this tip has really helped me because when I first started making music, I know every single YouTuber does this, but I saw imperfection as kind of a bad thing, which actually also leads nicely into the next one, which I actually don't have this one written down, but I kind of thought of it at the top of my head. Make art particularly how you want to make it. What I mean by this is, like, if you make one form of art, do not feel afraid to experiment and try something completely new. This was one thing that really helped me to like separate myself, because originally I started off making a lot of like pop stuff, but personally I didn't like making pop stuff, but it was literally because I felt like I had to kind of fit into a bubble. When in actuality, it's just like, just make whatever you want, combine stuff together. If one day you wake up and you're like, you know what, I want to draw like a funny cat, do it. But then you want to be like, I want to draw like, I don't know, like some fancy looking house. I mean, I don't know, I'm not an artist, sorry. Or if you're like a photographer, just take your phone out and just capture whatever looks nice, and then just add like little effects to it. I mean, most of my photos I don't really need to add effects because they look good as is. Yeah, I'll get to the last tip now. And the last tip is probably the most important one. Make sure you enjoy the process. I mean, this one's kind of self-explanatory. If you don't enjoy the process, you're not gonna be doing it for that long. And this was one thing I really did struggle with at the start, because I loved making music, but I was focused on the finished product instead of actually the process. It was only when I actually started following these tips and I just realized, like, the funnest part with making stuff is the creative process. English. But yeah, that's really the beauty with art. It's just creating stuff. Making stuff for other people to feel a certain way. I really hope these tips helped you if you are a creative person. I know for quite a lot of them, I didn't really go into detail for like the other creative processes. This is when I was about to say something. It's just I'm not really the best at explaining stuff. I'm not. But I just thought I would try something new. But before I finish this video, I want to give a quick channel update. I do. So I'm going to be trying to aim for a video every 3 weeks. If I can't do 3 weeks, I'll do a month. Originally, it was going to be 2 weeks, but then I just kind of realized that I'm just going to burn myself out and just absolutely hate this process. And also because I've got to balance this with making music, my personal life, hanging out with friends and family, and then just resting and just doing other stuff as well. I also have a second channel. It's called Ghostly Music. I'm going to be uploading a bunch of music. By the time of this video, there should already be a few tracks on there. A few of them are from my previous video, but there are a few that I couldn't show in my previous video. Either just because I didn't want to show them, or I just didn't want the video to be even longer. But anyway, I'll see you lot in the next video. Bye. The video's over. Why are you still here?